And welcome to the long-awaited return of Cornette's commentary right here on Who's Slamming Who. It is Election Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2010. This is Tommy Fierro with the returning Mr. J.C. Cornette. Jimmy, what's going on, brother?
J.C. Cornette, you've had 2 months to come up with a fucking introduction. Now, I want to make this point very abundantly clear at the outset. Believe it or not, folks, carrying on with our tradition, we have planned nothing. We have nothing prepared. This is a show about nothing, and we have not even in this case, Tommy, you will verify this. This is the first time that we've spoken to each other in 2 months.
Correct.
Right here, we saved it for the show now, and it's not because of heat. It's just because we haven't spoken to each other. This is a landmark occasion that we're now doing it right in front of the people, no safety net, nothing prepared.
Nothing prepared. It's really great to hear your voice.
And it'll still suck.
No.
But now, Tommy, where have you been? I mean, I've been busy too. OVW matchmaking, being at the Wednesday night TVs every week, the Ring of Honor trips on the weekends. I've been gone most of the past 2 months working on exciting professional wrestling projects. But I heard you have taken a huge plunge since I've talked to you.
Actually, yes, I did, JC. On October 8th, I actually got married, and that's why, another reason why I haven't been doing the shows here on Who's Slamming Who. I know a couple times.
Because you've been busy looking for a loophole ever since, correct?
No. Like I said, a couple times I reached out to you. Like you said, you were on the road and you were busy, and then things got busy with me. And actually, this is the first time I'm actually telling you that I got married. I didn't think I even told you that I was planning on getting married. And I'll tell you the reason why.
Well, I know the reason why. Her father had a shotgun.
Actually, the reason why is because I knew the following week you were going to be in New Jersey getting roasted, and I know you always rib me about anytime you're up this way. I never get the opportunity to see you.
And once again, I was in New Jersey. Well, how far is that from your house?
It was only, I'd say, an hour and a half away, but I would never, ever miss JC getting roasted, and it was a shame that, considering I
well, you did miss it. You just said you'd never miss it. Well, you missed it well. You missed the whole thing completely.
Well, the reason
you got 100%.
The reason why I missed it because I was on my honeymoon. And I felt really bad that I wasn't able to be there.
You can't tell me that the fucking you got on your honeymoon would have been worth the fucking you would get at my roast.
You're probably right about that. I'm probably lucky I didn't come, but what a tremendous day that
was. Oh, you didn't even come?
Oh, God, he's getting me good today here. JC.
Well, it's election day, Tommy. We picked a good day to come back. And, you know, I'll be honest, and of course I have not done any political rants or political postings or whatever, just because actually in the last year or so, besides the fact that I thought we had all this shit settled when the guy won the election. But anyway, of course, in the last year or so, I've actually been involved in professional wrestling that requires a little bit of thought and attention and logic applied to it. And so I haven't been watching as closely, and also because I got sick of it and got tuned out of it. Because of, once again, the fucking I'll take my ball and go home mentality. The Republicans are like Shawn Michaels, not want to do a job for the WWE title. They can't get over it. And so now I've decided I'm just waiting, because this will play really after Election Day, most of the time with people by the time they hear this. So I won't have been able to influence anybody in one way or another. But I'm just waiting to see if the average American is stupid enough to fall for this horse shit that they're being fed. Tommy, do you have a strong opinion on this one way or the other?
I was going to say, I don't mean to switch gears on this, but considering it is Election Day, what is your thoughts on the whole Linda McMahon thing with her running?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here's the deal. Obviously, she's a perfect member of the Republican Party, because have you noticed? This whole thing has, for the last 2 years, has been about rich white people, especially male, but sometimes female, that own multi-billion-dollar companies, being involved as closely as they can in politics. Somehow you can't tell one from another, and at the same time telling the, as Bill Maher calls them, hillbilly shit kickers of the country that they're looking out for their best behavior and their best interest, while meanwhile they're fucking them up the ass leaned over a stump. Meanwhile, the Democrats are all the people in the middle. They're smarter and have a little bit more money than the hillbilly shit kickers, but they're not multi-billion-dollar fucking corporate fucks. And then the Christians are over on the right because, no pun intended, because to be honest, the Christian folks have never shown a problem with believing a fantastic, incredible story at face value, just taking it for what it's worth without investigating further. So you got them over as the guys to do the run-in when the shit gets rough.
Run-in.
Now, basically, the Republicans have wedge issues. They always have them, because if there's not one, they'll make one up. So they have wedge issues like, there's going to be no prayer allowed in schools, or gay people are going to get married, or the president is black. One of those wedge issues to get the hillbilly shit kickers out to the polls. Meanwhile, they're doing the work of the rich billionaire Republican fucking businessmen that are either elected or just bought the people that were elected, who are telling these hillbilly shit kickers to do what's exactly non-beneficial to them under the guise of being patriotic. Are you following me so far?
Yes, sir.
Now, if they can't figure something out on their own, they will make something up, i.e., the president was not born in this country. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Well, the problem was he was. The president is a Muslim. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! And the problem was he wasn't. But by the time they figure it out, some of these people never figure it out. They did a poll. 46% of the Republicans think the president is a Muslim. They never figure it out because they don't want to. It's sort of like trying to convince Ned at the gas station after all this time wrestling really isn't real. There's some people that just want you to leave them alone about that. So, under George Bush and the Republicans, people, just to bear in mind, we got involved in 2 different wars in 2 different places and still ain't caught the motherfucker that actually sent the people over here to blow up the World Trade Center. He's hiding in a cave still. He let the Gulf Coast of America become destroyed from a natural disaster that they made worse by the disasters they put in charge of the natural disaster. And they still haven't recovered. He basically subverted the Constitution time after time to let Dick Cheney fuck around with whatever the fuck he wanted to while they were trying to start a holy war, and they got heat with us all around the world with everybody. Everybody hated the United States of America. And the stock market dropped from 14,000 to 6,500. Obama, in 18 months, has brought the stock market back. The Dow Jones yesterday was over 11,100. He actually pulled most of the soldiers out of one of the wars. He saved Detroit. He fucking averted a Great Depression. He revamped health care, even though I still have to pay $5,000 a year for mine because the Republicans tried to block everything he wanted to do. And he prevented Sarah Palin from being anywhere close to the fucking White House, and she's proven that she's a crackpot who is going to replace fucking Oprah on the next goddamn daytime crying women's show. What more do you want from one black guy?
Jimmy, can I tell you what more I want from you today here on Cornette's commentary?
What is? Just one more point. And Mitch McConnell from my home state, of course, and he'll be there till the end of time because for all the Louisvilles and Lexingtons, there's also the Pikevilles and Harlans. Mitch McConnell says it's their duty to make this guy a one-term president. After all that shit, none of this bad, nobody's pulled the plug on Grandma. None of the socialist, fascist things that were predicted have come to pass. And everything's starting to chug along a little bit better than it was, and they want to get rid of him. If somebody is that mad because the black guy won, then there's some ulterior motive. So what I'm saying is we're going to see on Election Day whether most of America is stupid enough to buy into this shit. Because if somebody's gone to that much trouble to lie and work and fucking dig against the common good, they're making a profit off of it. And I think everybody ought to fucking see that. Now, what would you like?
what I would like is I know this is the big return of Cornette's commentary, and I'm all about making headlines with JC and Who's Slim Who, because we've done that many, many times over the last couple of years, made headlines, and I see the press release going out tomorrow, and it's what I'm going to name this segment today. JC, I want you to stand up for WWE. I can see the headlines tomorrow. Jim Cornette stands up for WWE. I guarantee you that will be the headline story on every wrestling news site tomorrow. JC, stand up for WWE.
Well, here's the problem. I'm in the bathroom, and I'm already taking a WWE. And before I wipe my Russo, I will prove this. Now, who says that Cornette's commentary has to take the high road every week?
That, without question, is the biggest high spot ever in the history of Cornette's commentary here on Who's Slamming Who.
Now, there's your headline, Tommy. Biggest high spot in history of Cornette's commentary.
Well, Jim Cornette definitely
I started thinking about the Republicans so long that, anyway.
We can actually call that Jim Cornette sits down for WWE.
There you have it. I'm starting a new campaign. Every time you see the WWE on television, go somewhere and take a shit.
Oh, my God. JC, I definitely sorely missed you, and definitely one of the high spots ever in the history of Cornette's commentary. I think everyone's going to agree with that one. Jim Cornette definitely sat down for WWE this week here on the return.
And I want everybody to join me.
And as always, make sure you head over to jimcornette.com. I heard you recently got a new updated website. So
the website is bigger and better than ever. It's been completely redone. That's another thing we've been working on the past few months. And it's more colorful and it's easier to read, and there's new stuff on it and new merchandise and new collectibles. And also, I'm going to Toronto, not only for the Ring of Honor event on Saturday, November 13th at the, Mississauga, actually is where I'm going. It's outside Toronto. But also the big sports card show that's going to be there all 3 days at the Toronto Center or whatever the case may be. So I invite everybody to go to ROHWrestling.com to check out the information. And I will be there at the Goodwin Sports booth, and I'll have Ring of Honor tickets for sale, by cracky. So come on down, and you're going to be able to meet guys like Christopher Daniels and the Kings of Wrestling, Cole Cabana, all afternoon there at the Goodwin Sports booth before the big Ring of Honor event.
Very, very good. And, JC, I want to thank you for giving me your own little wedding roast here this week on Cornette's commentary.
Well, there you have it, Tommy. And next week we'll do the same thing, because I'll have the pre-Toronto preview, and we'll find out how many knuckleheads are still ticked off the black guy won.
Jim Cornette sits down for WWE this week here on Who's Slamming Who. JC, talk to you next week, man.
Bye-bye.